award-winning performance. We're so happy to have you here. And without further ado, this is Bayport 1X. May I have your attention, please?
I hope you know I don't want to be here.
Now, honey, we are your family. What could be more important than spending time with us? Besides, Chris wanted us all here. He said it was something important.
If it's so important, where is Mr. Chris? It's already 5-2.
He'll be here. Just chill, Brent.
Let me get this straight. I'm going to kill the little brat if he's caused me to miss the Backstreet Boys concert, and then he doesn't even show up.
Brent, don't speak about your brother like that.
I'm inclined to agree with Brent on this one. We all have better things to do with our time than sit around here waiting for Lord knows what.
Daddy, please just be patient. For me?
Anything for you, my angel.
And you, Brent?
Don't even go there, Jill. If you want to give me back the $100 I spent on the concert tickets and the private time with my girl here, then we'll talk.
Don't say things like that in front of your parents.
It isn't gonna hurt you to hear him out, you know. After all, he is your brother too.
Oh yeah. Don't remind me.
At 7, if he's not here, I'm out of here. I have that big ad campaign to work on.
Honey, you're always so busy. I think it's nice to have the whole family together for once.
I wish this was the whole family.
Brent, stop that. How could you say that about your own brother? I love Chris.
I love him too, but we would all be better off without him. You're cool, Jill. You're like me. But Chris, he's a freaking nutcase.
Brent, I won't have you speak of your brother like that. It's not even 7, and we owe him at least the courtesy of hearing what he has to say. It might even be something exciting. After all, he asked me to pop some popcorn. Want to help me with that, Jill?
Sure, Mom.
What's even going on with Chris anyway? Does anybody know?
There's no telling with that boy. He's always off doing some stupid thing. This is probably just another stupid event to add to the list. So, Brent, how was practice?
It was awesome, Dad. I did awesome. Coach says the scholarship's mine in either football or basketball. Town Scouts are going to be at one of my next games.
I'm awfully proud of you, son. I just wish Chris could be more like you.
Well, Dad, just be glad you had me. Chris won't be anything but a freak. Some kind of Jim Carrey wannabe. He's got serious problems, Dad.
Popcorn, popcorn. Who wants a popcorn?
It's 7 by my watch, and as I said, we're not staying here all night.
I wasn't expecting company. I wonder who that could be.
I'll get it.
It's probably Chris. He's probably locked himself out of the house. If this isn't just goofing off, I'm going to bust his freaking head.
Brent, I don't want any trouble. I'm sure your brother has a purpose for all of this.
I'm sure he has a purpose too. He's probably somewhere watching to see who's stupid enough to show up.
Hey, Charlotte, come on in. Hey, girl, how are you? I'm good. Mom and I just popped some popcorn. We're waiting for Chris.
Oh, speaking of which, I found this tape outside.
Weird. This is a tape with a note from Chris.
What does it say?
It just says, family, start this tape at 7, and don't be late. Chris.
It is his handwriting. Sloppy as ever, but his.
Who could duplicate that chicken scratch?
You know what? I don't have time for movies. I'm out here working my tail off, providing a good life for this family. And all I get, all I've ever gotten from Chris, is misery. As far as I'm concerned, this meeting is adjourned.
Honey, at least sit down and finish your popcorn and visit a little with Charlotte, okay?
Hey, Charlotte.
Hey, Mr. Borthwick. You know what? Why don't we just watch the tape while we're waiting? It might be fun, and I'm kind of curious what this is all about.
He probably has some porno flick tape that he thinks will shock us all. And he's probably somewhere watching as we do it. I swear, if Tom Green didn't already have the title, Chris would have been the TV idiot of the century. Oh, God. It's worse than I thought. It's not a peep show. It's a creep show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. Oopsie daisies. This isn't a circus, right? It's the Borthwick family meeting. Same thing. But anyway, thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to come to this event tonight. As you can see, I am dressed for a very special occasion, and I hope that tonight will truly be a work with me, baby, night to remember.
Jeez, why don't we put him at charter? Mom, Dad, he's a freaking nutcase. I'll say for the umpteenth time.
Oh, but look at how cute he is.
It's a face only a mother could love.
Well, don't you worry, Stubmuffin. He has nothing on you. But he is very handsome, Mrs. Borthwick. All your children are. You should be very proud.
Oh, I am. I am always proud of my family, and so is their father. Right, dear?
What has Chris given us to be proud of? I really do think it's about time we started looking into getting him some help. If there was ever any doubt, this stunt tonight should have been it.
Chris is very bright. You know what the doctor said? He's a genius.
I had such high hopes for him, and for what? Only to have him acting like a lunatic. No family should have to be embarrassed this way.
Honey, don't talk like that.
It's the truth. And sooner or later, you need to face up to it. Whether you're aware of this or not, people talk about us. We're not going to get the Parents of the Year awards for Chris.
Look, you guys, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, maybe if you try to understand Chris more, you might see him differently.
I understand him fine, Jill. He acts like a freak to get attention, and when he gets the attention, it's not what he wanted. He wants us to feel sorry for him. Well, not me. Nor am I going to feel sorry for him.
Maybe I didn't punish him enough as a young child. Maybe what he needed was some sense beat into him. But geez, how do you punish a kid for putting a cat in the microwave when he was only trying to dry it out so it wouldn't catch a cold?
We have done the best we could. Chris has a good heart, and we have nothing to be ashamed of.
You're probably wondering why I asked you all to gather here tonight.
No, dork. All families sit at their TV set at 7, well, 20 after 7, on a Saturday night, watching the idiot of their family dressed in a suit on videotape.
I hope that you have come as I have requested, and that you have decided to stay for the rest of the show. I promise not to take up too much of your time. It's obvious that some of you think that any time spent with me is wasted. But we will not dwell on that.
Finally, something I agree with him on.
This show is perhaps the hardest of my career to put together, because it is a true story. The story of my existence, and the story of my family. Oh, you didn't know this was going to be about you, too? Don't you feel special? It is truly a Kodak moment. But then again, our family has a lot of Kodak moments, right? There was the moment Brent was born, for instance. First son and child of the Borthwick family. You know, I'm surprised they didn't rewrite the Bible on November 10th, 1976. When you entered the world, Brent, it was a blessed event.
Listen here, you little punk. Don't think I'm gonna sit here and take this crap from you. I put up with it for 15 years. But it's gonna stop tonight. Right here, right now.
Brent, it's just a videotape. Don't get so upset. It's not like he can even hear you.
Maybe I'll write the president and see if Christmas can be moved to your birthday. Because after all, you are a gift to the world, Brent. Or would I contact the Pope about that matter? You know, I forget what the pecking order is for such.
I think we should stop this insanity. Turn that tape off right now.
But, Dad, I want to hear what he has to say. Please, just a little bit more.
Jill's right, dear. We should hear him out. We owe him that much.
We owe him? We owe him. Patty, where is your mind? We have paid our dues. We have given him life, a nice home, and the best clothes money can buy. And this is the thanks we get? No, we don't owe him. He owes us. He owes us respect, loyalty, and just common human decency. And when will he pay us? That's the big question.
This is really great popcorn, Mrs. Bornsby. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
I see what you mean.
And Jill, when you were born, it was the happiest day. For heaven was sharing one of its best angels with the Borthwick family. And you've lived up to your angel status ever since.
Aw, I love you, buddy.
Now, as fate would have it, I made my grand entrance on a very appropriate day. April 1st. April Fool's Day. Oh, good old April Fool's Day. Do you all know what it is like to be born on April Fool's Day? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, it's not just a birthday. It is an adventure. But April Fool's Day turned out to be a very appropriate day for me to enter the world. For you, my family, like many others, have always viewed me as a fool. Now, I never really viewed this as such a bad thing, until I knew that you, my family, thought it was a bad thing.
Why is he saying all of this?
Why? Because he's an egotistical little yapper. He wants to lay a guilt trip on all of us. Well, I'm not feeling guilty.
Well, maybe he should feel guilty. After all, we haven't accepted him for who he is.
Congratulations, family! You have just won $1 million! Gotcha! I didn't call you all here to tell you you've won the lottery, or even the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. But I have called you here nonetheless. And I really feel that it's important that you hear me out.
Chris? Doesn't look so good.
I have a few things to say to each and every one of you about my so-called life.
You're right, Mom. He doesn't look at all like himself. Kind of strange, sad even.
Christopher David Borthwick, April Fool's baby, middle child of the Borthwick family, child genius. Let's take a trip down memory lane, back to the time you thought I was a genius.
Short trip. I never did think you were a genius.
Now, Brent, when Chris was only 1 year old, he learned the whole alphabet. He always learned things so quickly.
I must admit, those first few years, I think we had one of the greatest minds of the century, a child prodigy even.
Yes, I thought we had a cute little Einstein on our hands.
Mom. You were the greatest teacher. You were so proud of me when I learned how to do my ABCs, both forwards and backwards. I was always your cute little man. Why, I still remember those ABCs to this day. A Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, and A. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much.
He's always wasting his time on worthless crap like that.
That's my baby. I still have the paper where he wrote those.
But what I remember most about that day is you, Mom. You were so proud of me. forget the smile you had. You were almost beaming with pride. But I never really saw that smile much after that.
I did the best I could, Chris. It was hard to find time for smiling or for anything really. Brent was always busy with sports, and Jill was just a baby. You worked all the time, and Chris, you always seemed happiest doing your own thing. He didn't seem to need me as much as the other children, so it made sense to divide my time up accordingly. Maybe I was wrong.
You are a wonderful mother, honey. Don't let him get you down.
I wanted you to be there, to be like all the other mothers. But then again, I wasn't exactly like all the other kids. On the first day of school, I was so courageous and tried to be a big boy by registering myself. I got all the information right, and I was so proud and brave. Well, brave on the outside, at least. But inside, I was scared to death. I needed you to be there with me.
And I was proud of him. He was such a cute little guy, the most handsome one in the whole school. But kids, your grandpa was dying of cancer then, and I needed to be with him. I wanted to be with Chris, but I guess I knew he could do it all by himself.
I did learn, however, that I could get people's attention by making them laugh. So, I became the class clown. Honk honk! Or maybe the class clown became me. I was a real riot, tying people's shoelaces together and telling knock-knock jokes. I did all the things the other kids only dreamed of doing, but never dared to. Now, family, here is a knock-knock joke for you. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Now, in case one of you actually answered, then I would say, family, come on family, you know the drill. You say, family who?